Uh, Good evening, students. This video is on the paper Translation Studies, Unit 2, History of Translation, and in the Unit 2, second unit, History of Translation, the topic is, this video's topic is going to be the Victorians. So in History of English Literature, you know about the Victorian Age, and during the Victorian Age, what do these translators say, and what do these translator theorists say? And let's say Thomas Carlyle, he belongs to Victorian Age, and he supports the Germans' translation theory. Okay, so what do these Germans say on translation? The other nations' beauty and their beautiful literature, which often need to be imitated by others. The German translators or translator theorists, they say that they say about translation that the other nations' beauty and beautiful literature should be translated into other language or imitated by other language. Then only the beauty is spread, and then only the beauty is spread, and not only a few people, the whole world will be able to understand the beauty. Okay, so for that purpose, translation is good, and it is a kind of it is like imitating. Okay, so that's what German translator theories say. And this is supported by Thomas Carlyle. And then next, D.G. Rossetti says the main aim of translation is putting the beauty of one language to the other, to a fresh nation with the possession of beauty. And the next one, what does D.G. Rossetti say about translation? And he says that the main aim of translation is putting the beauty of one language into other language. The beauty of one language, the beautiful literature of one language, the beauty in the language literature. Okay, so that is the same beauty should be made into other language. Okay, so that should be the main aim of translator. Okay, that is the aesthetic value. Certain works we enjoy, and it should be enjoyed in other languages. Okay, so that is the main aim of translation. And many Victorian theorists give a paradox, a contradictory statement on translation. Okay, so name is not given, but most of the Victorian theorists give a paradox. Okay, a kind of opposite statement by the translation theorists. And they say that the quality of the original text is reduced because of translation, but at the same time, by translation, the greatness of the original text is improved and many people appreciate it. Okay, so this point is a kind of contradiction. Okay, so the greatness, the greatness of one language, especially the beauty of the SL text, the source language text, is reduced when we translate into other language. Okay, so how do they say so? Say for example, the world's greatest literature is going to be Tamil's Tirukkural. Okay, the beauty of that Tirukkural is it is a couplet, 2 lines poetry. Okay, so there are 1330 couplet, and each couplet has various layers of meaning, and all the meanings are congested in just 2 lines. Okay, so that is the beauty of Tirukkural. Okay, but when translators translate into English, many translators translated it with 3 or 4 lines. Okay, so the main beauty of Tirukkural itself is lost because of translation. And we as Tamilians appreciate Tirukkural because everything is said in just 2 lines. So we are appreciating, Tamils are appreciating it. But when we translate it into English, and it is difficult. The English language doesn't have the scope to put everything, to put all sentences in just two lines. Okay, and when it is translated, the English reader would think that it is okay, everything. Alright, these are all the things that by Shakespeare himself. But Shakespeare would have used, yes, of course, Shakespeare used 10, 20, or even 100 lines to express a sense. Okay, but in case of Thiruvallar, he used just simply 2 lines. Okay, and when English readers read Thirukural with 3 or 4 lines, yes, these ideas were said by Shakespeare himself. Likewise, they think so. So the quality, the beauty is reduced because of translation. Okay, but at the same time, by translation, English readers are able to know, yes, there is a great text called Thirukural which is written by Thiruvallar 2000 years ago, and because of translation only they are able to know it. Okay, so by translation a text is improved. At the same time, the translation, the quality of the text is reduced. And so this is a paradox statement. They also say that unlike original works, the translator work is not universal but for minority contemporary readers. And this point is already said that Victorian theorists also say that the translator's aim work is not universal. It is their aim is for contemporary readers. Okay. So after 50 years, another translator will come and he will translate according to the taste of the future readers. Okay, so the text is not universal, but Shakespeare or Thirukural or Tagore's Gitanjali, it is universal and it will be read after 2000 years. But the translated work will be thrown away after maximum to the extent of 50 years. Okay, so this point is already said, but Victorians also support the same point. And then what do this Matthew Arnold say? Matthew Arnold says the original author's intention would be different, but translator job is for contemporary readers. You should think about how SL and TL affect the readers. Okay, and this point is again supported by Matthew Arnold also. And he says that the SL author's intention would be different. Okay, he would have kept Thiruvallar would have kept in his mind that my work will be read after 2000 years. Okay, like thinking in that way, he would have written the poetry. But in case of translator, I should think that. The translator should think that this is an after all a translated work and it will be thrown away after 50 years. So my aim is, the translator's aim is the translator's aim is for satisfying the contemporary readers. So that should be the aim of translator. And so naturally it is going to be they are going to be the minority readers, but at the same time the translator should think about the effect, the feel of SL. Okay, so what kind of effect is created upon the SL reader? The same effect should be created for the translator TL readers also. Okay, so that should be kept by the translator in his mind. And then Matthew Arnold says that the translator focuses on SL text and he should serve the text. So what should be the translator's mentality? The translator's mentality is that he should serve that SL text. So the translator should keep in his mind that he is serving the SL text. I'm not going to write greater than the SL text. I'm just doing a service to the SL text. So this should be the mentality of the translator according to Matthew Arnold. The SL text is introduced to TL reader by translation. Here there is no point in national pride or introducing culture. Again, this is another point said by Matthew Arnold, that Acceptance is introduced TL reader by by the translator. See, again let me take the example of Thirukkural, and English readers and others do not know there is a text called Thirukkural. By translation, it is introduced to them. Okay, so I am just the translator should think that I am just introducing the SL text to the TL readers. So that is should be the mentality. And the next most important point that Matthew Arnold says is that when translator translates, there is no point in national pride or introducing culture. And see, Tamil language is great language, or English language is a great language. I am going to infuse my national pride in my translation. This should not be the case with the translators, and he should simply translate with heart and soul. And he cannot have any national pride or any cultural pride. Okay, so this should be the mentality of the translator. And when translators translate, if there are any original creativity and an improved style, and it should be appreciated by the critics as well as by the readers. So this is another point said by Matthew Arnold. And then what does Longfellow say? We shall see what does Longfellow say. Longfellow says that the translators should be celebrated a lot, like the original author. Okay, so in no way translators are going to be inferior to the original authors. We should give respect to the translators also. This is what Longfellow says. Longfellow's statement is similar to Dryden, that when Longfellow translates the Divine Comedy, he says that what of Dante. See, Longfellow's statement is similar to Dryden's view. Dryden says that when I translate, I just imagine what Virgil would have known English language, and how he would have written Aeneid. Okay, likewise, the same point is said by Longfellow also, and he says when Longfellow translated Dante's Divine Comedy, and Longfellow imagines himself as Dante. And what if Dante knows English language, and if he had known the English language, how he would have written this Divine Comedy? Okay, so that is the mentality of Longfellow, and that is how he translated Dante's Divine Comedy into English. Okay, this is already given by Dryden. Let me continue next video.